confirmed that he'll be here. Yeah, we're live now.
Oh shit, we're live.
We are live. Welcome back to another installment, another episode of the Oddfrog Chop Shop. I think we're live. It says live in the corner. Started a little late today, guys. Today, Kelly, Deadman One, we're here. Chopping it up. We're actually gonna have David Vonner on. He'll be here in a few minutes, and we'll talk about David Vonner, who David Vonner is. A lot of you may not know. Many of you do know who David Vonner is. So we'll get into who he is, what he means to the toy community, uh, for the culture. He's all about that. He writes a column in Toy Collector magazine, so we'll get into details about that and how he now is writing with us as project manager. How you been, Kelly?
I've been great, bro. Working hard on these victims. We just got the packaging.
Let's see that. Check it out,
I showed
guys.
it.
Oh
So these
yeah.
victims heads, Oddfrog Entertainment has been working on. Our mother company here. It's gonna be victim heads for 6-inch action figures. Your 112 scale should fit a variety of lines with our innovative little grommet Kelly's been working on to support the peg of each and every, almost each and every body, buck bodies. But yeah, these victim heads are particular just to help you story tell, photography, toy photography, things we do.
Yeah, hold that box back up. Look at that. Look at that. My name is on that box.
Yeah, we'll have victims for your characters. Say you have this guy, Jason, back here. You want him, Mesco Jason, I mean Mike Myers, my bad. But say you have Mike Myers, you want him killing somebody, you can swap out heads. We have heads with various expressions, screaming, terrified. We've been teasing those. We're definitely dialing in the details. Those will be a very available very soon. But yeah, victim heads. The
I'm
Bandito's up for pre-order, guys. We got the
I'm super
Bandito
excited
clone.
about all this shit right here. All of it.
So yeah, man, we have a lot more to talk about with David, and yeah, but these
Yeah,
victim
so I
heads,
think while we wait for him to get here, we'll just kind of go over his life and career a little bit,
little
according to
recap, yeah.
Wikipedia. Yeah.
It might be
David
So,
nice to
Vonner.
do that without him here. He might appreciate not putting him on blast like that.
yeah, doing it without him here, you think we're good?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wouldn't
David
want somebody
Vonner,
going over my life accomplishments right in
and
front of me
here,
on live. I'd be like, I'm embarrassed.
I mean, I'm sure he's been on panels, he's been on TV documentaries. He's this guy's done it all. Started his business, started designing in like the '90s, graduated from the Institute of Philadelphia, the Art Institute, and started his career at Spencer's, designing there, and did work for Toy Biz and Hasbro and Mattel. He's kind of a living legend. He's kind of the reason why Marvel Legends are kind of back. He put a little resurgence in Marvel Legends. He's a big dude behind, build a figures and large scale figures. And, he works with a lot of third party companies now. Recently been working with Unparalleled on Odious and Brutal Realms successfully. Amazing Kickstarter. He helped get that over the hump. But I mean, this guy is bop, 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 just stuff left and right of what he's done. So
He's the
pretty
real deal,
amazing.
guys. He's the real
Yeah.
deal.
Let me read some of his thing here.
Just got a
He
message
says
from him.
coming
He's
in a
coming
bit.
in
He
just
says
a bit.
coming
Though.
in a bit.
Yeah.
He's driving, so no worries.
Yeah, sorry guys. We got the post we made. I guess we got a little times cross. He's Eastern time, I think. We're Pacific. So we usually do it at 11:30 p.m. No,
Or
a.m.
AM. Yeah,
Sorry.
AM.
Yeah, see. So yeah.
Yeah, he thought it was PM.
Yeah. So it's okay.
So let's go over Vonner's early life and career and education here. So Vonner grew up in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and was a comic book collector. A native of Pleasantville, New Jersey, Vonner graduated from Pleasantville High School and attended the Art Institute of Philadelphia.
You're just gonna read this.
Vonner worked for Toy Biz Inc. and worked with other Toy Biz team members, including Jesse Falcon, to create Marvel Legends. I mean, dude, it's just crazy to even say that.
Who wrote this thing that you're reading? Make sure you give them some shine.
This is Wikipedia.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Wikipedia, yay.
So he'll have to correct us for whatever's wrong. Yeah. No, there's all sorts of stuff we can pull from here. This one just had it all kind of concise. So he helped create Marvel Legends. The Legends figure War Machine bears Vonner's likeness, as does the 3¾ War Machine in the Iron Man 2 comic book series. Vonner later joined the Hasbro Marvel design team, in which he oversaw the design and development of the licensed Marvel toys and action figures based on movies, cartoons, and comic books, along with such movie lines as Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, and more. Vonner also managed the overall design and development of the Marvel Universe 3¾ action figure line, offering a wide variety of characters from Marvel Classics or Marvel Classic Comic Catalog. In March 2012, Vonner and co-founder Scott George, also formerly of Hasbro, started Casual Friday, which focuses on pop culture product based on several classic cinematic licenses. Sorry, this is written very, Casual Friday made its debut during the 2012 Wizard World Philadelphia Comic-Con. And not only that, I knew David Vonner because we worked together for several years at Mattel. And let me tell you, there's a lot of brilliant people at Mattel. And I was honored enough to sit in a lot of brainstorms, many of which David Vonner was in. And let me tell you, this dude is brilliant, like really, really intelligent, forward thinking, super cares about the culture. And we just could not be more excited to have him come on board with Oddfrog Entertainment to help us manage the action figures line. So we've been working with him for the last month or so, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening. We're launching the victim heads, which will help support the Bandito, getting us to cons, prototyping.
When Zilla says we need some Oddfrog merch, we got some Chop Shop merch. We got Oddfrog merch.
That'd be cool.
We can change logos.
Toyworks Oddfrog merch, yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to get an Oddfrog shirt last year.
I know. And then my budget went.
You guys just let me start selling them at the Toyworks merch store or the Redbubble. I could get my own.
Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I don't make any money off of them, so there would be any money. So last year I sold 30 Toyworks t-shirts and I made $4.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I have them cheap. I have them priced as cheap as possible because I want people to have them. I'm not trying to make money.
Yeah, exactly. The marketing.
Yeah, basically, people are the best billboards, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Eddie, you want to talk about the Kickstarters that he's been working on recently?
Yeah, the Kickstarters. So most recently, he worked with Jason and the team on Brutal Realms. They had launched a Kickstarter. I'd been following Brutal Realm and Realm Toys for a while. Actually, they started posting like their art and concept. I'd say almost like a year and a half ago, where they posted stuff, and they posted concept art. They did it, and then they launched a Kickstarter. And David Vonner jumped on the Kickstarter towards the end and, helped them surpass their goal. So now Brutal Realms actually, in production, getting done. I actually not helped, I guess. Well, I purchased the figures. I forgot what they call it on Kickstarter. I pledged for it. Yeah. And then, it's been pretty dope. So, watching the whole journey, Brutal Realms are cool figures. He also helped with Unparalleled and Odious. Odious, the character that's pretty badass. Unparalleled Universe, toy reviewer guy. He's been around for a minute. And, he has his podcast going on, his fan base. And, I think he helped with like manufacturing and also project management with that. And boom, that thing came out. They're coming out with like their second variant already on Odious. It's like Mesco style. It's pretty dope, man. So that I'm a fan of that one as well. But so just knowing that he's been able to jump on projects and help them really, pop off now, knowing that he's a fan of action vehicles and what we're doing here at the Chop Shop definitely gives us like a sense of at least to me, a sense of relief that again we're on the right path, we're on the right road, and knowing that he sees the vision and he's here to help us out. So I think with his connections and his network, we can definitely establish that base we need to be able to cover our order quantities, and then talking ideas, launching new kits, the tiers we're talking about of unlocking the lowrider kit, and just things that he brings to the table that otherwise we may have not have thought of. But some of his connections are very, very valuable, so having him on board riding shotgun is a big plus for us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It sure is.
Sorry.
It sure is. I mean,
chat a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit
no,
here, too.
I'll keep going. So speaking of which, we've had the Bandito here in LA, here where I reside, for a couple weeks. I've been working on it, getting it ready for Toy Collector Magazine in Blake. So it's featured in Toy Collector Magazine right now. It's also in Toytography Magazine. We're gonna update there's like an ad. We're updating ads in Toytography Magazine monthly, and it's in Toy Collector ad now. I mean Toy Collector Magazine. And they're gonna do like an exclusive, in-depth look. So I brought it back home, been cleaning it up, sent back here, touched up the paint, did what I had to do to them. I also have the lowrider one ready. But Blake, I actually saw a post that Blake said he was in the LA area. So, if you watch this, I want to reach out to you, Blake. I saw you said you wanted to, if anybody was in the LA area to hang out, have coffee, chill. I'm available. We're probably both available, this week. So let's make it happen. Now that you're around, instead of having to ship it out, maybe we can do something here. You can take a look at it. But yeah, I'll get a hold of him later. And again, yeah, he's in the LA area. I saw that. So, it would be dope to connect with him and just show him what we've been working on. Take it to Otis, where Kelly and I both got degrees in toy design, and kind of launched us on our path to where we are now. So having Blake come check it out and take pictures or be able to just see it firsthand as well before it even takes a journey, because we haven't had the best luck with shipping. But
no, shipping's rough on prototypes for sure.
Yeah, because prototypes aren't as durable as the real deal.
Exactly.
I have a suggestion, guys. Do we want to address the chat, bring up some comments, and talk to people?
Let me see. Let me go back on
absolutely.
YouTube.
Yeah. Let me look at Instagram here real quick.
So YouTube is just.
What's up, Raven?
Instagram? Oh, I can't see the Instagram one.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about Vonner before he gets here, we can ask him when he gets here. Oh, here he is. Let's welcome to the show.
Hey,
David Vonner.
Hey, what's happening? What
up, man?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry, man. I thought the time was going to be later on this evening, so I'm actually out with one of my best friends, my brothers, and I totally lost track of time. But I show up.
Oh, good, man. Glad to have you here, bro.
So
much, as long as you made it.
My bad on my end. I should have been more clear about the AM part, because
no, that's cool.
So it's nice to meet you, David.
Hey, nice to meet you too, brother. Nice to meet you too.
These guys have told me a lot about you. I hope we can bring a little more light to the photography community of who you are. I know you're a big industry personality, even like more than just like a worker in the industry. Like people know you there, and you're a thing there. But I hope to get the community to know you a little better.
Yeah. For me, man, photography and the photographers within the community, has always been an important element. Back when it's funny, when I back when I was at Toy Biz, I actually got in trouble for making a photo shoot like a little bit too expensive for a Hulk toy. Like me and the photographer, we just went crazy on the background, and getting the lighting correct, and we made all these pieces so it looked like it was a back alley kind of thing, and we had it was like one of the first projects that I actually product managed was with this electronic Hulk truck that made sounds and everything. It was all purple, had some greenish gold wheels on there, rims on there, and the Hulk fit in there and all this other stuff. And I wanted to make it like right for the packaging.
Exactly.
Man, my boss was so pissed because it was like all that was for the back of the package.
Oh man. Hey,
You know,
it's all in the details though, the packaging also helps sell products. So, it's
it it,
essential to have quality
it
stuff
does.
on you.
It does. But the thing is that, you know, at that time, my thing has always been, I always loved what I captured in my mind's eye. You know what I mean? Like the pages, when the comic book was over, or my toys, when I would go to sleep, like how they would play around with each other, like in Toy Story and stuff like that.
How the story
So,
would continue.
right, how the story would continue. But also, too, with that, in my room, I would decorate it like on my wall unit, each shelf had their own scene. Like the Transformers
Yeah.
had their scene, and
Yeah.
Master Universe had their scene, and this is way before that was a thing. Like you had
Yeah.
to like think of like little parts, and like I had staplers and little bottles and pins that I made into look like towers or whatever. And like the tube from your paper towels, the cardboard tube and stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So when I had the opportunity to actually photograph a background, I didn't want it just to be a gradient background. I
Yeah.
wanted to be the experience, for not only for people who love the packaging, but for guys like us who love the photography, like looking through
Yeah.
the catalogs, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
dreaming about
Yeah.
something for months before Christmas. You know, you
Funny
know,
you
Exactly.
just said that. I
Exactly.
actually just did that with my youngest daughter. I think we got a couple of like the Walmart or the Target magazines, and she goes through and she still circles what she may like and what she wants, and then we kind of just have little like nostalgic feelings of when I used to do it. And it's kind of cool, just
yeah.
being able to.
Yeah, we used to take the Sears catalog when I was a kid, and we'd put our initials next to the things we wanted in it.
Hey,
Yeah.
We never got everything we wanted.
oh
We were
man,
Yeah,
lucky. We were
The
lucky to get.
Sears catalog, the best catalog, the KB Toys, like all that stuff. Like especially when the little newspaper circulars would come in, it
Mhm.
was like that and the funnies. Like those were the only things that interest me when the newspaper would
Yeah.
come. You
Yep.
know,
Oh,
And
and
all
I
of that
would
shit was in
pour over
Sunday.
the I
All of
would
it was
pour
Sunday.
over the toy catalog back then. My grandma would get them on purpose for me and pull out the pages of the toys. Did they have it used to be called, I think it turned into Sears or Sears took it over at some point, but there was a company called Best,
yeah, the best
BEST.
catalog. Yes,
that's the
Yeah,
best.
yes,
that was one of
man,
my favorite catalogs ever, was the Best catalog.
bro. That was the first catalog where I saw my miniature Pac-Man and Donkey Kong arcade game when it
Oh
first
yeah.
came out. Remember that?
Yeah.
And my mom said you have to choose. It has to be one or the other. And I
Oh,
was like, it was either Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. And
yep.
and and, and I mean, that was like a life decision. You know what I mean? Like it was that critical.
You're gonna
So then my
spend the next few months either on Pac-Man or Donkey Kong.
yeah, so then my cousin Sean was like, yo, my mom just showed me this game, man. I'm gonna get Donkey Kong. I said, I'm getting Pac-Man. Because
There
I
you
knew
go.
it made the decision for me because I knew he didn't take care of his stuff like I take care of my stuff. So eventually, I would get it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you see those that imagery, man, it's
Mhm.
like a commercial, or an animated still. Like it really embeds into your psyche, and you never really forget it. So
Mhm.
that is what I wanted to convey when I made that decision to have the photograph on the back. Not only just to boost the product, but this is going to be something that's going to have a lasting memory.
Yeah.
And this is what really creates the halo effect. Like when you have
Mhm.
that lasting memory, now you're going to buy into it forever. And now, and that was back at Toy Biz, and now fast forward, 20, 25 years later, all those kids, it was like a social experiment. All those
Mhm.
kids, man, that's what they were into. And now they not only put their dollars into it or their parents' dollars into it, but now their dollars, and now they're photographers or videographers or
The
bloggers
diorama builders.
or
Yeah.
Yeah.
diorama builders and model makers. And
Yeah.
like that's to me, that's a segment of the collector world. And I always got ticked off, like when I was at Hasbro, like they would kind of clump the kid and the collector together. But for me, I was like, man, like it's more, it's deeper than that. You know, it's like wrestling. It's deeper than that. Like at the time, you had guys who were coming up and, you know, reviewing stuff and just starting to take, their YouTube videos of things, and guys who love to customize. Like I always design for the customizer.
Yes,
So to
sir.
me, it wasn't just this clump of collectors. There's actually consumers, different consumers within this network, which is a community. And if you target each one the right way, they will all go to the same product for different reasons.
Well,
Yeah.
and when we first started talking to you about the Bandito, you mentioned that that's what caught your eye. And that was when we really knew you got what we were trying to do, you know, with the customization and telling your own story and making your own character out of the car. And,
Right.
you know, it was just a no brainer when we heard you speak to us at it,
Yeah.
you know?
You know, for me, it's like I have a 3C philosophy, is collectability, connectability, and customization, right? It's
Mhm.
like if you when the need to collect them, like, it's like, man, I gotta have it, it's cool and it fits right into my collection, and that is the connective part, where I can connect all my other stuff to it. I can connect, you know, my Superman and my Mezco figure, or my independent toy all together with this vehicle. But then it's the
Yeah.
customization part, right? That even though as cool as this is, it's still a canvas that could be
Exactly what it is.
that right.
Exactly.
It's a canvas that can also be either painted or molded over or sculpted over. It can, that can tell a bigger story. For all those 3Cs, it's all an experience.
Yeah.
So when we buy it, we're not buying just because we're collectors. Like, we're buying because I want to customize it, because I want to connect it to my collection, because I'm a collector, because I'm a
Yeah.
photographer, because I want to make soft goods for all this stuff. I want to customize the stuff and redress it. Like I just worked on the Odious figure, help with
Yep.
that.
You talked
And
about that.
man, it's like Otis has taken on a life of its own. Like, guys are
I mean,
customizing.
he's been working on Odious for a long time. He was selling heads for a super long time, and like
Right.
Odious had a big presence in the community, and before before
Right.
he
And that,
actually
and
made the figure happen. And I'm glad he did. I missed it, and I'm gonna miss the one at Legion's Con, and I'm gonna miss everything except
you got to
for
get it.
hopefully
You
some.
got to get it.
I got to get one of them. At one
Yeah.
point, I got to get one of them.
But
Like,
and that's what
that's
I
all
love
there is
about
to
it,
it.
because it's so entrenched in the community. Like
Mhm.
how Wade just, started the whole movement. And that's what it became, a movement. So now that what became a conversation, what became an idea, a thought, start off as a thought, an idea, and then became a conversation, then became a drawing, and then became a bigger discussion and bigger topics, and
Yeah.
you know a, a, a an expression, and then all that into a movement. Now when you have guys, they have it in their hand, now they're taking it to the next level. So you got guys who are customizing it. It's like a samurai and Kobe Bryant,
Mhm.
and there's a psycho style, a jail style, like it's all from,
Everybody's telling their own story.
everyone's telling their own story, and it's from, basically, when you peel it all back, it's all like that catalog love. Like, yo, remember when we saw this? Remember when we had that idea? When we saw it, my boy's picture? Like, it's all goes back to that really grassroots kind of way of how we grasp on to something that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wanting to make it happen, wanting to see it come true. And I think that was our thing, with even with the whole term action vehicles, wanting it to be like a household name eventually, just like action figures. Action figures and action vehicles eventually will go hand in hand. Like you said, the collectability, the connectivity, the customizability. I mean, we even have kits. Like, it's all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we're trying to push for. And it's, I mean, we're excited to have you with us. And I mean, just I don't know, just having your vision and
Oh,
knowing
thank
that
you,
you
man.
just knowing that you feel and see it the way we do, and
Yeah,
having your network at our disposal now is definitely something that we're grateful for.
I do, man. I love it, man. It's like this,
I mean,
man.
I
It's
look,
like,
I've been working on one. Look,
see, look
it's
at
the
that.
latest.
I mean, now clearly there's been vehicles and stuff around before for toys, but now we're all at a different level. It's a different
Yeah.
thing. It's a different kind of
Yep.
movement. But
Yeah.
also too, like when I look at that, like I can smell it. You know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
hear it. You know,
Yeah.
I can feel the muscle in it. I can hear the soundtrack. It's a tape deck in there. Ain't no CDs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
MP3s in there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
There's an
hot in there.
eight-track player in that thing, man.
Right. It ain't no air conditioner. It's nothing but muscle in there. You know what
And
I mean?
Yeah.
Muscle
windows.
and
Make sure you
attitude.
roll down your window
Yeah. Yeah. Everything about it is
down to the
physical.
details.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you
But
feel it,
and
the,
even
yeah.
though everything about it is badass and physical and all that other stuff, there's a beauty to it. There's an
Yeah.
elegance to it. You know what I'm saying? And then that balance, man, is what is cool about action figures. There's a balance between the anatomy and the fun. The
Yeah.
anatomy, like the structure
The
and the
style.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and how you capture that, how you capture artist's style, how you
Yeah.
capture a particular time period. And with that, with the Bandito, how you capture that vehicle and the attitude and the feeling and that thump and that, I can hear that muffler, I can smell it. But then it's like, I got my Odious next to it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know,
And
I,
now
Yes.
I,
you
I
make and now you
And
make
maybe
the
you want a
vehicle.
pinstripe.
Yeah, now the vehicle
right,
matches Odious. Maybe now you have some bigger tires. Now you have one. We have kits in the work. Now maybe it's like it looks completely different than a
right,
Off
lowrider or a
road.
muscle car. It looks
right.
off
or
road. It's
or maybe you got your blade there, your blade figure that you completely customize. Even you customize the motorcycle. Now you got the vehicle. Now you got a nice coat. Now you got some nice weapons, the glaives, the blades, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Now it's like, this is the blade. This is my blade in my world that I'm
Yeah.
representing.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then I want to showcase this to my community, to my family, to my
Yeah.
friends, to my rivals. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
And it.
competition here.
I was just going
You
with that.
know, um,
When we started this whole action vehicles term, like almost 2 years ago, there was really nothing. The engine of vengeance wasn't even a thing yet. So it's like to see it come from like one or two vehicles to now Mezco to now HasLabs. They had the new the Ecto going. They had they have cars everywhere. You have Valaverse, you have Ramen, you have again Mezco coming out with the Heat. So it's like there's vehicles everywhere, and it's like a new market that I wish we would have
Bro,
had. Ah,
man, let me tell you, because I'm such a Marvel fan, and when I worked at Hasbro, like when I created helped create the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe line, like my first thing, man, was like creating the giant, like the Marvel Universe handbooks with all those guys running, but flying. Like, I mean, like I want like I had the Quinjet in there, you know what I'm saying? And I had the
I remember,
Fantastic Car. I had did
you talking
a
about.
prototype of Nick Fury's flying the shield car. You know what I mean?
yeah.
With the wheels, the doors popping up and the wheels flipping over. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
because vehicles are characters, like the
Yeah.
General Lee or Starsky and Hutch's
Yeah.
car,
Knight
or
Rider,
the Green
DeLorean,
Hornet, the Green Hornet's
Green Hornet.
car.
That's the one on my list.
You know what I mean? Like those the Munsters car. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying? And
god.
like all those. All that's the era that me in particular, where I come from, where it was like whoever the person is, whatever their vehicle was as synonymous as they
As
are. Like Evil Knievel
yeah.
on this motorcycle, Evil Knievel
Yeah.
on the
I had
rocket.
that one.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it all was hand in hand. And now I think that we have so many of our humanoid type of things and all that. But when you really look at everybody's collection, you may have a wrestling ring, you may have a sky sled, you may have something else, but you got to get a model of it.
And you
You
got
got to
100 motorcycles because that's all the companies really want to make because they're
right
small.
because to be honest with you, like especially when they make it like a base, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
That's an interesting point, David. I had the great honor and privilege of getting to work with David at Mattel Toys for several years. And one of the things we wanted to do with the Bandito is I remember sitting in those meetings with Mattel where the sculptors and these guys that worked in the back on the hard prototypes and stuff would come up with these absolutely genius things. And then they would get cost reduced and all the magic would be taken out of it. And it would just be kind of a plastic shell. Actually, if you had any plastic left, that would be good too.
Right.
We just wanted to say, kind of take an Apple approach and just say, let's build it and just say what it cost to buy it.
Right. Because
but make it compelling.
Especially when not only our tastes have become sophisticated, but like our needs, like our wants, our desires, like, and I think that, even the idea of a toy product has to be aimed and geared to a particular age range.
Yeah.
And that, or even that the word play has to be done a certain kind of way. Like for me, as a collector, that's a form of play. When you have all your stuff out there, your collection and everything in your mind, even though you're not touching it, you may not touch it. It's all on your walls and all your display, even though in your mind, it's like a circus going on in your mind.
Yeah.
I think that's where we all relate. Yeah. We see things in our mind that, like, it makes it sound crazy, but we see things in our mind that are really not there. Like I see this garage and I see things happening here, and I want to take pictures, and I see them on a computer, and I see them ordering parts, and that's what we try to play out. Like
so it's like you got that aspect, but then like the collecting part becomes like a chess game at that point. You know what I mean? It's like
even more so than
yeah, because I mean, even when you think about it, some chess games don't just end within 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh no,
they can go on for days. Because the move has to be right, and especially like look how long people have been wanting to build out. Like for instance, the action figure world, look how long people have been wanting to build out Alpha Flight, and look how long those people have been holding on for like a Snowbird, a Box. A Guardian, a Vindicator, a True Puck, a Wendigo, a Sasquatch, all that stuff. Like they've really been waiting for all that stuff the right way, holding on, or the Avengers holding on. But then it's like, hey, we may have a Quinjet, or Kang may, Galactus may have his big giant thing that he rides on, his world shit.
There's no way that anyone's ever gonna make that, not for that Hasbro.
But see, that's the thing. Why not? Because now we have Galactus at a giant size.
Yeah.
Why not give us what we truly want? Because we're the big kids now.
That's right.
That would take up your entire garage if you had a garage.
But you can turn it into like a lazy boy.
You mentioned David. You mentioned. So I'm sorry, but David, you mentioned how this. You
talk about space right now.
Hold on.
Space right now.
Hold on. Let me get to where I'm going here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, I am talking about space. Because you talked about it being a chess game, but it also becomes a game of Jenga.
Right.
Oh,
there is a space issue when it comes to
if you took something like that and turned it into a piece that could hold your collectibles, maybe you could sit on it somehow as if you were Galactus.
And that's the thing. That's what happens. See. It's not really. It is Jenga, right? And it is chess. And it's almost like once you get something big, you have to reconfigure in your mind and how you're going to redevelop and redesign your space, like actually display it. You know what I mean? And actually look at, hey, let me utilize the wall. Let me utilize the ceiling. Let me get this display case. Let me get this lighting now. Let me pull out this stuff and get some ambient lighting. Maybe now let me change my collection. Let me theme it. You know
See,
what I
I
mean?
love that
Opportunity.
thinking, and that's why I think I connected. I connected with you so well in the brainstorms because I hadn't been there. You were obviously a superstar, but it was like you would throw out these really forward-thinking ideas, and I was all about that because I didn't know any better. And David, where do you get the inspiration? Where does the kind of keep pushing forward model of your like brainstorming capabilities and stuff come from?
I mean, it's not a one thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's a little bit of, you know, um, having a deep intrinsic connection to a past that I enjoy going
yeah,
back to,
yeah,
right? Like, and not only going there, but going there in a sense where I can actually, smell the cellophane. I can smell Christmas. I can touch
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? And then it's also having the, almost taking the cold shower approach, man, when it's like you just jump in and say
Yeah,
whatever that thing is,
yeah,
because whatever that idea, whatever it may be, even though it could be the dumbest thing and everybody in the room get all quiet, then it's a long pause and they move on to a next thing when well,
Over.
that
Yeah.
idea was a thud. At least you put it out into the universe.
yeah.
And
See,
even though it might
I
have
love
been a
that.
thud, that thing, someone latched on to it and was like, they may be able to add on to it in a way where you may not have had that ability to, but
Completely
they
different
threw it out
angle.
there.
Yeah,
Right. And
See,
also
and that's
too,
go
oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead. I'll say that's why I think we're part of where we are today because I kind of changed my perspective a lot. Like in the last couple of years, everybody when they take a leap of faith, right? What's the one thing they say? What's the worst that can happen? And they
Well,
think about what's the worst possibility that can happen, and you're putting that energy out there. A couple of years ago, my vision, my thought was, what's the best that can happen upon taking this leap? Like if I email David Vonner, what's the best that can happen? Dude, he loves the idea. He signs on board, and boom, we're making it happen. Like that's where I've been with the last few years. I've been, and that's why we keep pushing forward. And that's I think that's kind of part of that same mentality in a
yeah,
way.
I mean, you just
And
gotta, I mean, I grew up where I grew up, I grew up in Atlantic City, New Jersey, moved to, a small town outside of New Jersey. And it was like, there wasn't a lot of opportunity. Like the thing about growing up in Atlantic City in that area is that a lot of vision came to Atlantic City. Like we would see the result of visionaries, like the
Mhm.
result of the money, the result of like we would see the superstars. Like man, like we don't know how they got there, but they ended up here. Whether it was in boxing or having money to gamble or whatever, it was like what their riches they squandered there,
They
right?
you brought it back.
interesting. Yeah,
Right. And it was a
Native American.
gambling town. And with that, it's kind of like there's a lot of risk in that. Like, hey man, you shoot your shot. You play with the hands, you play with the cards that you're dealt with. And I think a lot of that mentality, that feeling, I carried over, especially when it's like, I never had the best of the best to have the perfect standing on whatever. All I could do was try. That's all I could do.
Hmm.
Like I may not have had the resources, I may not have had the connections, I may not have had all the talent or all the true words or the ideas, but hell, I'm going to try it.
As long as
yeah,
you
What
try it, what's the best that can
what the
happen?
word? Right, right, and the worst that can happen is, well, I'm already there. Like I don't have it anyway. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So, you know what I
yeah,
mean? I just got to take the step to get there. And so it's like a little
absolutely.
bit of that. I love to have fun. I love to have fun, man. And I love
yeah,
to inject humor into my work. And I think that opens up the idea, chain. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
sometimes when you sit around and shoot the shit with your boys, that's when you have the most groundbreaking thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
and and that's why I love the toy community, and why I worked in so many places, because I love the idea of like the Marvel bullpen and having a group of guys that we sit there and shoot the shit with and be like, man, that's an idea. You know what I mean?
yeah,
and then we can start forming like that. Like it's a rap group, you know, a rock group, man. Somebody's playing the drums, somebody's playing the cymbals, somebody's, you know, hitting a guitar riff, somebody's shooting a lyric, and it's like, yo, that's it right there. We can build on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like I
Somebody
love that.
offers something different, brings it to the
Right.
table, and together it's like, boom.
I love that synergy. And also too, I love cannabis. I love weed. I love how it,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
the
saying?
truth,
Hey,
the truth.
You know, so I mean, and I, you know, I don't smoke blunts. I don't like tobacco. I like the paper. I like paper. You know, I like my grass. You know what I'm saying? I get that natural high, and
hey.
but then it's like, when I can turn that philosophical point and merge it with the humor point,
Yeah.
and then mix it with the
Okay.
creative. Now it's like, wait a minute, this could be an idea,
Yeah.
or this is something, or this is a connection. You know what I mean? Or
And
maybe I
that's
Yeah.
can hit,
funny you said that.
you know, and it just it kind of like stretches out. I kind of liken it to Mr. Fantastic, where the ultimate Mr. Fantastic, it was a version in like in the anime version actually, that his mind, he was all young, but in his power was that he could stretch out the neurons in his brain and
Oh,
create
wow.
faster pathways of
Connections.
connection. So that was why he was Mr. Fantastic, why he was so smart, because he can literally like stretch his brain, you know, to function even more
Faster, yeah.
effectively and
Yeah.
faster and shit, right? So it's like, to me, when I can slow things down and kind of get a deeper perspective, I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm kind of stretching out my neurons, and, you know, stretch
Yeah.
it gives me
Absolutely.
ability to stretch out my thought.
And
And
okay, speaking on that, that's funny because as you know, like you said, as a fan of cannabis, you know, the body itself has an endocannabinoid system which accepts THC and it like connects neurons in the brain. You know, there's a lot of science behind the myth that you know people don't want you to find out about. But you know, I think that's funny you said that because when you came up with that slogan in one of our first meetings, "Let's hit the gas." I was like, yo, I'm all for this. And I was like, I started to make that connection and I was like, yeah, let's hit the gas. So, I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
I mean, because it could be, especially like it could be spun, particularly with this toy,
any which
with this
way.
product, in any way, and
Yeah.
especially like, you know, with the concepts, Eddie, that you sent over, with
Oh,
who
yeah.
we've been
Okay.
in our meetings, who we've been
Mm-hmm.
discussing, who we're gonna have, like, possibly, hopefully, take some photographs and everything, you know, with the type of marketing campaign that we've been, you know, talking about and associating the brand with. It
Mm-hmm.
can go all that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It can go anywhere.
Absolutely. And it's funny you said that because you know we actually had a meeting with you know when we pitched it to various companies and we had a meeting with another company and the CEO of the company actually looked at the lowrider and he's like the very first thing he said was like I can present this to so and we can literally pop the trunk open and just have a bunch of weed nugs coming out the back and that itself is like a promo ad and that was the first
Right.
thing he said in his boardroom meeting and I was like we're all on the same
Why
page
why
with
hasn't
this.
that photo been taken already?
I mean, I
And you
gotta
know
get
what?
those
And
nugs,
bro,
man.
that is such a beautiful question, and it's also where we are right now, because as collectors, right? You know, we're not. I'm 52 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not a little kid, right?
Yeah.
I can make my own decisions. I can make my own decisions for my health, or for
Yeah.
my sanity, for my enjoyment. So it's like, there's also branding in that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's branding opportunity in that. There's
Oh, there
product
is.
opportunity in that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, we're all growing. Like, my mom buys so many kitchen gadgets, it's not even funny. She has it all. She has it all, because she's from the QVC generation,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
right?
So she just
So
needs
it's like,
it.
it's all that, like the Martha Stewart stuff, all that. Like, that's her deal. That's what she collects,
Lex. I
right?
was gonna say that's her
Yeah.
need. Yeah.
That's her deal. So it's like, what we grew up on, and now that we're older and more sophisticated, our tastes change. You know, our wants change, our needs change. So why not have product that's going to be targeted to the things that
To
I
that
enjoy, that I'm
Yeah.
into now, but it's also rooting me with what I love.
Absolutely, man. Love
Yeah.
that.
You
I
know,
fully understand
and I
that
think,
because I love to drink and I usually drink on these things. It's just a little early in the morning right now.
bro, but Tony Stark loved to drink too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And but
Hey, you know,
and that type of stuff, and like when you don't have people who don't understand the character, or like by mentioning the comic books, you wind up losing something. You
Yeah.
lose something. It's like Steve Austin coming out and he's squirting soda pop. Yo, that's
No,
not
that
Steve
don't work.
Austin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
you need
That's
the
not
Yeah.
brew
Steve
skis.
Austin.
You lost part of the
So
character.
it's part of the character, and and especially when you get to a point when you're enjoying it at a different perspective, you want to you want to partake in that experience. You may not want to drink the beer, but you may want to, you know,
Buy it
wear
to
the
have it because
jacket.
it's Steve Aston.
Right, right.
Because
You know
it's
what I'm
Steve.
saying? So I mean, so just to me, I just always, felt as though that people who didn't understand like the collector world, they really didn't do anything to really embrace, or they really didn't live in it. You
Or
know, it's
they just,
like it's
I mean, I've been a lot of people that just couldn't find fun in it anymore. They just leave it because they
yeah,
don't have
man.
fun. And like,
And I
that's-
and with
I have
that,
fun all the fucking time doing this.
I would right.
I
Yo,
wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't fun.
I wouldn't. I refuse to be that person that doesn't have fun anymore. Like,
Yeah.
and like all of us, we all have life stuff going on.
Hmm.
But if I can't have fun in something,
Yeah.
then
It's no point.
what's the
What is my
point?
life? Yeah.
Right. And then with that, what's the point of having a life? What's the point of living? What's the point of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so now that we live in an age, particularly in an era, where it's like we can kind of make, as wild as it is, and everybody's talk about AI and all this other stuff, we can make our wildest dreams happen. We can
Yeah.
actually do it. We can make our
You just have to
wildest
act.
dreams.
You have to
And you
We
just
just
start
got to
somewhere
exactly.
and
act
start
on it.
building.
Right. And if you can't do it, connect with somebody who can. And
Yeah.
and because we can make our wildest dreams come true, this is one reason why you're seeing such a tremendous wave in the independent move in our world,
Mhm.
Yeah.
independent toy world, because guys are giving up on the Hasbros and the Mattels. Like, yo,
Yeah.
we giving you all of our attention, we giving you all of our money, we've given you all of our patience, we've given you all of our emotions, we've given you all of our passion, and like I'm still waiting for, like, now I'm getting Beyonder.
Yeah.
Now
Man,
I'm getting, now I'm gonna get like a Fantastic car, or like now.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, so, but now that we in this era, guys are like, yo, I'm gonna make it my own, or I know someone who does, because they get it. And
Yeah.
that's what, that at the end of the day, that's what we want. I just want the guys to get it. And I feel like
Yeah.
I owe it to myself and or to anybody else. I just got to be able to get it. Just,
Yeah.
get it,
and then deliver that.
I hear exactly what you're saying.
and I think you get it.
And
I
if
hope
I don't, and if I don't get it, then I'm going to not poo-poo the idea or the perspective of those who do.
There you
Like,
go,
Yeah.
man.
I want to understand why they get it, because, like, again, I come from the hip hop generation where it wasn't even called hip hop, to it was called hip hop, to its banned. Like, you had to listen to it on Friday nights at 12 o'clock
Mhm.
a.m. That was, and you get it for 2 hours. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but and also doing it ourselves, like banging on the tables, kicking rhymes, kicking
Mhm.
beats, wearing the clothes, wearing the sneakers, wearing the hats, having the attitude, like
Yeah.
all of that we grew up in. And it's like, it's a shared experience in the toy world.
Yeah.
So we're not kids anymore, even though there are children in this world, and the kids love. I mean, come on. I mean, I love the Dallas Cowboys. when I was a kid because my cousin did. I loved the General Lee because it was a cool ass car that these dudes was driving around in. I loved
Yeah.
G.I. Joe because it was a bunch of guys saving the country and the
Mhm.
world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love He-Man because He-Man was a man, like a
Yeah.
grown man, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? Like I love Conan and looking at She-Ra and Red Sonja and all that stuff. Like, yo, these are like people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like now that and I was a kid, so now that I'm older, it's like that hasn't left. Why should I water it down?
Mhm.
Especially now that we have so many experiences that it's like we went through the Matrix phase, we went through the zombie phase. You know what I'm saying? We went through all that. Now it's like let's get to that point where it's like let's do some cool stuff like Harley Davidson. You see how their enthusiasts live within that culture.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
never leave it. And as things evolve, the Harley Davidson brand evolves around them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It
the
does.
same thing. It's the same thing in our world.
It like you said, it evolves
Well,
to
it
match
should
the
be. It should be the
generation.
same thing in our world.
I love
Right.
it. I love it all. David, you're hanging out with your best bro. We don't want to steal too much of your time, but
He's
We
actually
have
man.
sitting
meetings
here
on
shaking his
Mondays
head.
anyway.
He's chiming in.
Okay, great, great, awesome. We can send him an invite. But we'll let you get back to your day, sir. But thank you so much for popping on here, David. And I know you were wanting to talk with us, Eddie and I, before Monday at some point. So anytime, if you still need to do that, just give me a call or give us a
Yep.
call.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Yeah, we got our meeting. And also, too, I just want to say, guys, number one, thank you so much. Thank you so much for, having me be a part of the team. I'm always thankful when anyone reaches out and, it allows me to be a part of their vision, and their baby, you know what I mean? Like kind of rearing it, and so I really, really appreciate that. I love the idea, man. And I love the passion and I love what you're doing. You're
Thank
taking charge, and at the end of the day, man, that's what we're all tasked to do. And Kelly, like this is why, we were hired by Mattel, and
yeah,
which frustrates me about companies like Mattel because they hire us for our passion, but then when they
yeah,
get us, they don't want to really utilize our
that's
passions. They just
exactly
want to
Exactly.
right. Yeah,
have us
No,
be a
the
body.
bottom line is $1 for those larger companies.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, if you unlock and unleash the individuals to let them really go and wander and think and collaborate and create, that can add to the dollar. That can add to the bottom dollar. It can add to the
yeah.
bottom
And
line.
my whole vision, I'm a huge fan of comic books too, David. Like I've been carrying around so many that my back should be bent in half just from having them all these years. But my real vision for Oddfrog is to take some of those designers in the industry that don't feel creative and don't want to bring something to the table because they're afraid that the company will just own it if they do. And I'd love to shape it more like Image Comics, where there's that IP ownership and that pride of ownership with the creator that stays with the creator. So
Aren't you
that's
doing something like
heavy
that
on
right
my
now?
that's heavy on my mind, is because I think if you can get kind of some of the money out of it, and I can just say, look, I can't offer you that much, but I can say that you will keep your IP if it goes to a movie or if it goes to a cartoon, like that's your IP. We can work together on the characters and I want to make the toys and help
Mhm.
expand that world and breathe life into that world.
Yeah. And also too, like, have the resources in the lane and to express yourself. Like I think
Yeah,
as artists, we all want to express ourselves, but also as artists, we have a very tough time expressing what it is that we want. You know what I'm saying? At
yeah,
time, is which is one reason why a lot of artists, they're devalued and they wind up getting gypped out of their money, whether it's in sculpting, designing, music, whatever it is. The bottom line is we would do it for the love of it. We
yeah,
love what we do. It's a natural urge, you know what I mean? But we live in such a very commercialized and and monetized world, you know, and we can't function without the security of the currency, right?
Yeah.
We got to eat, we got to have rent, we got to have, you know, we got to have these things, right? And but I think for artists, man, it's like they just want to have the right environment within them to be able to create. And then like, hey,
Yeah.
man, my family is okay, my friends are all right, I can be in the dungeon all day long.
That's all
But
we're
Yeah.
trying to do,
let me
man.
be in the dungeon and let me do my dungeon thing uninterrupted. But
Yes,
also
exactly.
let me reap the things, the benefits of the compensation from it without having have to do the dog and pony show. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it
Yeah.
as an artist. One of the hardest things as a designer to do was presenting in front of like stoic senior management, like stoic
Yeah.
lawyers and you know, or people that didn't have a creative background. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? And you have to,
And don't
you know,
necessarily have a vision for all this stuff. They can't see it, and you have to
right,
really hold their hand.
right, or they're so far removed from their own childhood
Yeah.
that they're worried about their salary, you know, or
Yeah.
if they got a divorce pending, or they
Yeah.
got some other issues happening where it's like they really don't they're stretched too thin to have
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
That's
and
where the
and
magic dies.
right, but then it's like, how, so when you have to convey that, and but usually those people can also laser target what's right or wrong, or sometimes they just can't see it. But
Yeah.
whatever it is going on is like, man, you gotta be able to convince them, you know, be
Yeah.
able to razzle dazzle, you know, or just be able to
Yeah.
find that connection, because that's what eventually, man, you know, what we're really selling. Like Nike is all about connection.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, the NFL seasons is nothing but a connection of people in this huge
Bonding.
ongoing
You know?
soap opera. Every
Yeah.
season is a new soap opera.
It is. Yeah, facts, dude. Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's
You're
like
just
that's what
there for the show.
we there for the show. We there for the show. You know what I mean? So it's like that's, you know, not only is that my approach, but that's also tied to my thank you to you guys, because that's also the vision that you have, and you're allowing that, and the fans are allowing that and seeing that, and they're all a part of that movement.
Well, David, we could not be more honored to have you on board. And yeah, the honor's all over here, sir. So thank you very much for those kind words. And we'll let you get back to hanging out with your best friend, bro. But yeah,
Cool.
thank you so much,
Before you
David.
go, David, is there
Yes,
anything
sir.
coming up for you that you want to let the
Oh,
people in
yeah,
the chat
great.
know about? You want to plug anything?
I got it's funny. I got a few things popping, some
Oh
good
shit.
things, you know, popping that we're announcing, along with, you know, things that's happening with Bandito.
Yep.
You know, we're always moving and shaking. So just stay tuned. Like, you know, stay tuned to at David Vonner, you know, on Instagram, or you know, hit me up on Facebook. You know, I'm always accessible, you know, and you know, as always, man, everything's for the culture. You know what I mean? It's for the
Yeah.
people. It's for us. It's for the movement. You know,
Yep.
it's for the community. So, you know, um, you know, I just hit me up, see what I'm doing. But we definitely got some cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Right.
Absolutely love it. Thank you again, sir. You guys,
Thank
thank
you,
you all
man.
for coming out here and getting to know David Vonner with us.
I'm glad I
A
Really
did.
little bit.
appreciate
A little
everybody's
bit.
time. And Deadman, you got anything you want to push real quick?
I'm gonna be on Raven's Nightmare Dreamscape at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. 6 p.m.
Stay tuned. We
And then
got
there
Victim Heads coming
and
out
there's
Halloween.
the victims. That's all for you.
All
Your
proceeds go to
photography.
back to Bandito.
Now,
David,
I gotta just interject. I love
yeah,
horror. I love Halloween.
So
You
do I.
yeah.
know, like, bro. So
I'll send you
anytime we
some,
go.
David.
Oh man, great, man. Like, I love this time of season because
Absolutely.
there's nothing but like Halloween movies and stuff on, like all the classics and everything. So if you ever have any horror discussions, I mean,
We'll
come
talk
Oh,
about it
on.
wow.
Monday.
Absolutely. Raven's Eye Studio out there. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what these are, real quick, is we have two characters, a guy and a girl. And so there's going to be 5 heads of one character and 5 heads of the other character, all with different states of suspicion, shock, or horror. and you can buy one package, and that way in your photography you can shoot those scenes where it's leading up to anything, and then those real terrifying, dramatic.
Yeah, I
scenes.
like that. I like that. You need like a Terrifier head too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I love that.
that would
This
be
was
dope.
an idea that Deadman brought to us, and so we're just using our capabilities and our facilities to
it's
get
not
it going.
there. The community doesn't have it, and there's a huge horror photography community out there, and we don't have it. We have the Marvel Legends Red Hood figure. Like that's the only thing we have with shock or terror on his face, and it's
yeah. That's another thing I always hated. I always try to add some expression to my figures' faces, and people always talk about undercuts and everything for the mouth and everything, and I get it, but there's ways to be able to push it and deliver expressions. You know what I mean? Like that's why I don't like movie figures. Like who the hell wants
I don't either.
like a stoic
I'm so with you on
face
the movie figures.
I hate that. Like I absolutely, I've always hated that. I always wanted more expression because, like Jack Nicholson's head sticking out the door, that's what you remember about The Shining. I don't give a shit about anything else. You may not even see the movie, but you remember him.
It.
You know that's it.
Oh, that's The Shining. That's from that scene. I know where that's from. Blah blah blah.
Right now, imagine if that's Jack Nicholson with a stoic face,
just there, like
just staring. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Flop City,
not the same.
Flop City. You talking about a peg woman? I mean, come on.
That's what movie toys are, in my opinion.
Yeah, because and it's like, damn, like you know who's buying this stuff.
It's the mom.
I mean, come on. I mean, Barbie has a bigger smile than some of the movie figures.
Yeah,
that is sad when you.
And the costumes are never like the comic books. It's never like what you imagine in your head that character is supposed to look like.
And it's like it's you know what, things could be better, and now I think we're at a age and a time where now we can actually push for better. For us, by us, like by our own means, and we can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Plannable, you can hit me up personally on Instagram, or I can address it here.
We'll let you go, David. Thank you so much for showing up here, sir.
I start talking, man. Y'all see how I get when I start talking? No need to be sorry.
It was awesome to get to know you.
Good. No, we'd keep you on longer if you want to stay, but try not keep you from your busy day hanging out,
But thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take care.
Have a great day, David, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
You too, man. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Real quick.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Real quick, if I could address Clanable. I saw his question. He wanted to know if there's going to be a neck for the thing. There's actually a system that Kelly created to where you'll be able to utilize the peg already on your figure. You won't have to have anything weird to connect it. There's going to be a product in the box. I believe there's going to be 3 different sizes. Am I right with that?
So for each one, we'll have 3 different sizes because the female grommet that goes in the head, I'm calling it a grommet, but it's more like a little rubber ball with an insert for the head, but it's designed in a certain way that it's easier for the head to come off than it to come off the neck. And it also, when you move it, it stays where it's at.
It's a really good system that Kelly created with this.
Thank you. Yeah, it just took like, how am I going to do this to where it works on everything and works good? And we've developed a little engineering that's going to make it work. So and then if somebody finds some off-brand character that it doesn't work on, since we've developed the grommet, we can kind of make it in any size, and we can add little tweaks to it for different brands that come up along the way. But we are going to do a certain type of neck, but it'll be severed.
It'll be severed, and that'll be in the future. All right, guys.
That doesn't go on a character. That goes in the character's hand.
I want to thank you two for having me on. I appreciate it as always.
Absolutely, bro.
Also, I wanted just to add to the pushing of Oddfrog Entertainment as a whole, that I met these guys 2 years ago. They were pushing the Bandito then, and then I found them again not too long ago, and they were still pushing the Bandito, and I was like, I gotta hook back up with these guys because the passion they have is It's insane. Most people would have given up in the time that they had, and they didn't. And that's
And
why
it's evolved
I'm
from
here.
that first thing. So, you know, it's
'Cause-
definitely.
Thank you, Dead Man. I really appreciate
Well,
that, man.
I believe in the Bandito, guys. I believe in it.
Yeah, well, we're working hard on it. And as you guys can see, we've got the right people looking at us. We've got the right person working with us. And it's only a matter of time now. So get out there, buy the Bandito at nerdzoic.com, buy it at Hella Dope Toys. And again, oddfrogentertainment.com. We'd rather get it from Hella Dope Toys than Nerdzoic because we want to support our distributors. But that's it, I think, for the show today, guys.
Yeah, go
But thank you
subscribe
all
to
for
the
coming
YouTube.
out. Dead Man, thank you for coming on with us. Eddie, my brother, I'll be chatting with you soon.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Have
and
a
on
great
that
day,
note,
bro.
guys, you should go check out the YouTube. Speaking of David Bonner, I knew we like that guy. We have 419 subscribers. One more for 420. Who's going to be the lucky one? Who knows? But I mean, let's go. David on board. Again,
Thank you,
thanks for
Dylan.
being here
Thank
today,
you.
David. And peace.
All right, guys.
I want to
Have a
thank
great day.
I want to thank all the merch that came out for the chat too. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Thank
You're
you all.
appreciated.
Have a great day, guys.